Hi, Treat Town Tony. I have this big smile on my face because I just got to pet like this cute little dog, and it doesn't matter like what's going on with me in my life. Um, when I get to interact with a dog, it just fills my soul. Um, so I'm walking and talking again. And I was listening to my music, so I got my headphones, and I felt inspired. Um, you know, I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of my life, and sometimes, um, I usually don't act like it. I usually don't act like, I don't know, like how a lot of people, I guess, act. When they've been through something, they tend to. I've met a lot of people who tend to like dwell on their traumatic events, and they keep talking about it and the situation that it was, how it affected them, all the pain that it caused or whatever. And I understand. Oh yeah, I've definitely experienced some traumatic events. I like traumatic events began for me very early in life. I mean, being a child and being in a car while your fathers and your uncles are inside robbing the store that you're parked in front of, and they have guns and there's yelling, and you're just a kid and all this stuff is happening, and you've been introduced to alcohol as a child by your father, who's telling you it's okay to do it but not to tell your mom that you've done it. I've been robbed at gunpoint. I've had a stroke. I've had a heart attack. I've been robbed at gunpoint. I've been robbed at gunpoint, but I've had 4 different instances in my life where I've had somebody point blank point a gun at my face or at my head, and in circumstances that you wouldn't really even think would be like circumstances where that would happen, like washing my car. One time I was with my girlfriend, and it was like a road rage incident, and some guy pointed a gun at us. And it was really more me because he was closest to me and blah, blah, blah. I have, I've lost family members. Some at very young ages, too young, way too young. 2 different cousins, 2 different aunt and uncle that were, basically in their 20s or younger, and good people. Each one of those deaths were deaths of good people that were taken from this world. And I also, I'm part of the recovery community, a drug and alcohol recovery community, and I've been sober for 11 years. And during that time, I meet a lot of people in recovery, and a lot of people trying to stay sober, and some of them do and some of them don't. And, results may vary depending on your actions, I guess. Hold on. Sidebar: water number 1. Always clean water. Always have clean water. Clean water, the number 1 beverage in the world. So being part of the drug and alcohol community, recovery community, for that long, you get to know a lot of people, and you get to know a lot of people really well, and a lot of those people die. A lot of those people die. You know, that doesn't count. Well, I've almost, I don't want to say become immune because it sounds inhuman, but I have almost kind of become immune to the news, like, you know, of like somebody that maybe I was at a 12-step table with or something, I had passed away. Typically it's a drug overdose type situation, and it's like, it's heartbreaking and all that. It just seems like it stings a lot more when it's like somebody that you've known for like 10, 11 years, and you know all this stuff about their lives and about their dreams and their hopes and their ambitions. You know about their family, and you know their spouses' names and their children's names, and you know their story and what they've been through, and then one day you find out that they're not with us anymore. You know, it's traumatic. As much as I'd like to think that it's not, that I'm okay, I can take it, and I am. I get through it. I live through it, and I stay sober, but it's still hard. And you know, and physical trauma, you know, I've been I spent a lifetime on the road in transportation, and I've been rear-ended 4 different times. Yeah, I know, it sounds funny, and it's funny to say it now, but being rear-ended, regardless of the amount of damage done or how hard the impact is, has an effect on your overall body, your structure. And you know, I have some spinal damage, and I've developed some spinal issues and some skeletal issues and whatnot, whatever, you know, it's my bones, you know. And I've had more excuses to not live my life, to not like get outside, to not just enjoy being alive for whatever moment I can, whether it's 10, 15 minutes, the entire day, for weeks, whatever the case may be. You know, I've always used the trauma, the historic trauma that I've been through. You know, I know that there are people out there who have been through much, much worse than some of the things I've been through. And I know that there are people in situations that I couldn't possibly be in. Like, I'll never know what it's like to actually be like a single mother with children. Like I like I can't imagine. Like, I think about like what, like the kind of trauma that my mom has gone through, and the things that she went through that I don't even know, you know, what she survived. And you know, I always come around and want to, you know, acknowledge, you know, what my mother has done for me, because, you know, she's such a great woman, and, you know, she's taught me how to persevere, how to take action. You know, she's always been kind enough to let me be who I am, let me make my own mistakes, I suppose, and whatnot. But she's always demonstrated a certain way of living that it took me a long time to adopt. And basically the way my mom is, when there's a problem, she immediately looks for the solution. She's immediately looking for a way to solve it, to fix it, to get it done, to get through it, you know, to survive it, whatever the case may be. And I've learned some pretty amazing survival skills in life. And, you know, have come to the realization that that's one of the things that not only have I honed really well, but I've become accustomed to just living in survival mode and not expecting that I could live a good, happy life. Not ever thinking that I even deserve anything good, that I even deserve to be happy, that I even deserve to feel good, about being alive. Man, for so many years I never believed I deserved anything good. I mean, outside of, you know, the wonderful things that the people in your life that love you say, there's like that feeling inside of you that when you hear the words, there's doubt. Like, really, am I really a nice guy? Am I really a kind person? Do I really deserve success? Do I really deserve happiness? Do I really? Yes. Yes. You do. I do. You deserve good things. I mean, especially if you've been through the kind of things that I'm talking about. You know, people that have witnessed other people die, and people who have been on battlefields, war zones, both military and domestic war zones. You ever seen a domestic war zone? You ever been in some of these neighborhoods that are like, whew. I lived in Detroit for a minute. I saw some part of life. Man, you want to talk about war zone? This is how they live. They live in war zone. You know, I don't know. I've never served in the military. I don't know what battle combat trauma is like. You know, again, there's just certain things I don't have experience with that I can't speak to, but I can speak to my own experience, and I know that I reached a point where I decided, you know, when confronted with this idea, like, am I going to be the victim, or am I just going to be somebody who was victimized, who has overcome it? You know, yeah, I've been victimized. Yeah, I've had some bad things happen to me in my life. Some really bad things happen to me in my life. You know, some of the things that you know, I'll probably share eventually, but I can't share it all right now. But, you know, am I gonna let the post-traumatic, like, am I gonna live in that trauma, or am I gonna learn how to overcome it by whatever means necessary? And the best way that I've found to overcome something, to succeed, is to follow a step-by-step plan that somebody else has done, or more than just somebody else, that multiple people have done and have proven to succeed. And you know, for me in my life, one example of that is my experience with Alcoholics Anonymous. And, you know, they have the 12 steps. And it's really cool because, like, in the book that they're instructed in, the book Alcoholics Anonymous, there are promises in that book, and in those promises come with taking the steps. And I've experienced all of those promises and more in my life. And it was simply by following a step-by-step plan, the process, going through a process, a proven system that others have done, and I've all achieved similar results, the common result. It's really amazing how there are these things that are out there. There are these resources that are out there for us, especially now, especially now in the time that we live, because we have access to information like instantaneously, and we're able to share methods of success and failure instantaneously around the world. People were surviving suicidal depression, were surviving alcoholism, drug addiction, were surviving PTSD way before a lot of these methods were discovered. So now it becomes a matter of, the way I was presented. Am I gonna take action? Am I gonna take action to get well? And until I took action, nothing changed. Go figure, right? Am I gonna let the events of my past, am I gonna let the experiences of my past, am I gonna let the physical damage of my past stop me today from enjoying, oh my God, is this another absolutely picture perfect, beautiful Michigan spring day? Oh my God. I could be on the couch, in my room, or in my bed, whatever, just all hunkered down next to Netflix, binge watching a series that I've probably already binge watched 3 times before. I don't know why I repeat binge watch. Oh my God. So, I could be doing that, wallowing in my past, making excuses for my physical ailments, making excuses to not do something that I would enjoy. Is it hard to get off the couch and step outside and go for a walk for me today? No. Is it hard for me to stay inside? Tell myself you can do it tomorrow? No, that's not hard either. It's kind of funny. It's almost like, like sobriety kind of ended up like that, like for me. Like, am I gonna be that person who, is living in sobriety, always afraid of, what might cause me to drink, or just being so uncomfortable with myself that I'm just like on edge and basically a little boop away from being pushed over the edge and having a drink? Or do I want to live in a way where it's where it comes easily and naturally, and I don't have to think about it, and I get to live freely and happy? They're both easy. Yeah, it's easy to live in that, like, that self-pity, to wallow in it, Right? Ask me how I know. That's one of my rules, by the way. If I say ask me how I know, it's because I've been there, I've done that, I've experienced it. I'm guilty as charged. You know, it always seemed like the traumatic events of the past were such good reasons to just wallow in my self-pity. Oh, poor Tony. He's been through this, he's been through that. Not today. Not today. I'm not perfect, but you know what? Not today. You don't have to either. You really don't have to either. Man, I'm loving this. I'm loving this that like my biggest problem right now is that there's too much sun. Wow. This is, I know I keep saying it, and it is just this absolutely like perfect day in Michigan. I'm enjoying my life today. I want you to enjoy your life today. I want to help. The only reason why I make these videos is so I can help you, so I can help somebody. You know, if you don't think this will help you, maybe you know somebody that needs to hear a message like this, that you can overcome. You know, you can take some actions. There's lots of information out there. There's lots of ways to overcome whatever it is you're struggling with. I love you. See you on the next one.